Why does it feel like in so many businesses, no one takes responsibility? Everyone is busy, everyone is working, but when something goes wrong, nobody owns it. And as a business owner, that's frustrating because you end up carrying everything. So, Nicole, why don't people take responsibility at work?
That is such a great question, Celine. And it's interesting that you say at work, but I would even say it's a case of people just don't take responsibility.
Mm,
And you can see it in terms of you can be driving down the road and a taxi cuts you off.
yes,
They're being an irresponsible driver.
yes,
And then you're being the responsible one who's driving in the right lane, I say the correct
in the
lane.
lanes,
You're
the
driving
assigned lanes.
in the assigned lanes, and the driver will swear at you and hoot at you and whatever and make you feel like an idiot. And so people don't want to take responsibility. Why? Because the rest of the world are not taking responsibility. So why should I?
Mm. Do you think it's a like how much would you say like fear plays into taking responsibility?
Oh, a huge part because people are afraid of the consequences. So, especially at work, if I take responsibility for delivering the report, well, if it's wrong, I don't want to get into trouble.
Mm.
So,
Ew.
I'm not going to take any responsibility for it. Um, but also, it's easy not to take responsibility. It's easier for it to be somebody else's problem.
So would you say that it's a avoidance then? Like I can avoid taking responsibility
Yeah,
because it's
because
easy.
somebody else will do it.
Somebody else will pick up the slack.
Yeah.
Mm,
So what's the problem? It's like, well, I don't need to throw my stuff in the dustbin. Somebody else will.
mm, got you. So people aren't lazy; they just avoid taking responsibility
Yeah. So, well, if I leave my stuff on the floor here, somebody will pick it up for me
because it's their job. I've heard that when
because
people
they get
litter.
paid to do that. The cleaning lady gets paid to clean, so she can clean.
I'm giving her something to do. If I
Yes.
didn't, she'd have nothing to do.
Yep.
Oh man, I've heard that one a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Uncovering Greatness podcast. As always, I am your host, Sully, and today I am joined by Nicole Mitchell. Nicole is the lead processor at Uncovering Greatness, and what she does is she helps you find out what you want and she helps you get it. And today, on today's episode, we're talking about why people don't take responsibility at work. It's
Okay.
such a funny topic. Sorry, I was just thinking about all these commissions that are going on. None of those people took responsibility. It's- I'm sorry. How you doing?
Shall we keep going? We
Yes,
can
please.
go.
Let's
We
go.
can go through the Epstein files. We can
Oh my
go.
word.
You're talking about all these things that are happening in the
Yes.
world, and essentially that's. I mean, there was that the Biggest Loser or the weight loss program.
Yes.
There were
No
no
responsibility.
responsibility
Mm-mm.
there. Um, and this is where people have not been responsible,
Yes.
and they've been allowed to get away with it.
Oh, for so long. For so
And
long.
that's part of the problem is that people are allowed to get away with not taking responsibility. It's also a lot easier to not take responsibility. And then it's also hard to make people responsible and teach people that there are consequences to their actions.
How do you do that, like in the workplace, right? Because, like, so when you say that, so this is just me. I don't know if it happens to anybody listening, but like, do you not feel like, especially as a leader or the owner of the business, like I'm now trying to be like a school teacher or a principal? 'Cause I'm gonna teach you how to take responsibility.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
That
I'm
is
just gonna just put it out there. It's
fair.
it's really hard. And it is it's making people understand that there are consequences to their actions.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to be like the school teacher, the nag, the.
Mm,
But you also need to teach people that there are consequences to their actions. So, and typically in corporates, if somebody, let's say, you get given a card in corporate and you don't for all your expenses. And you are supposed to give your expenses to the accounting department.
Yes.
Give them all your slips that tell them who you went out to dinner with, what clients you worked with, blah, blah, blah. And if you don't do that, well, what happens? And for most people,
nothing.
Yeah. Because the accounts department will only get the credit card statement 2 weeks later. And then they come to you and they'll say, Sully, I've seen on your card statement there was a dinner at I don't know, Tasha's, for example. What client was it for? And you go, well, it was 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. How do you expect me to remember that now?
I'm busy.
I'll have a look.
I'll find out.
And then 2 weeks goes by.
Back to the same thing.
And the poor person in accounts is going, I can't do my job because you're not giving me the information. And then they go, well, you know what? If he's not willing to be responsible, why should I? Okay, well, I'm just going to put it to so-and-so because he's not telling me. And every time I ask him, he can't remember, blah, blah, blah. So I'll just allocate it, to X client. He normally goes to
this person.
So he normally meets with, the glass people. Okay, I'll just allocate it to them. And nobody, why? Because there's conflict, there's pressure, there's like, how do I in accounts hold you responsible for giving me something like that when, like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And then I have to go to the boss and say, so he's being irresponsible with his credit card. And the boss is going, oh, shit, I'm like that too.
Ooh, yeah, because I put my reports in late for the credit card stuff.
I'm terrible. I lose all my slips, and then I say to the accounts person, "Don't worry, it's okay. I'll help you with silly stuff because I do the same thing." That they don't say that,
but I got a system that I'm going to work.
We got a system that we're going to work, and why? Because the poor person in accounts can't turn around and say, "Well, you don't do it either."
No way.
Because they'll get fired.
Yeah, we can't say that to the boss.
So now it becomes this whole vicious cycle because the boss is trying to cover his butt.
Yeah.
And then he's going, oh, if they do, instead of the accounting person having the ability to say, Sully, if I don't get your slips by Monday, I'm going to cancel your card. And then canceling the card.
Yes.
And say, if you need another one, you will pay for it and you will have to wait for it while I reorder it.
Yeah.
Because it is your problem that you canceled it. And you will pay the bank charges for reissuing a card. How quickly are you going to do your credit card slips then?
Yeah, pretty fast now.
Pretty fast.
Yeah.
But often the person that we are dealing with that is trying to hold you accountable does not have, I say, permission or enough authority or enough posture to deal with it.
So now I'm the one I'm the person in the accounts department. So I'm not supposed to I'm supposed to be accountable for my job.
Correct.
Take responsibility for my job. But now you playing a part in me not being able to do my job. Are we not now in a position where both of us haven't taken accountability for our roles?
Correct. But the person, you as in accounts, don't have any power to take responsibility. So your job is to balance the credit card statement.
Yeah. So is that then?
So what I do is, yes, I will do that, but I'm going to hope and guess, because then I'm going to submit everything and I'm going to be accountable for my work and I'm going to get it done.
So is that then also down to like systems and processes? Because now me as accounts, I can actually come to you and say, Nicole, you're not following the process or you're not following the system of your credit card statements and how this all works month end or whatever, whenever it's done. How do we move from here? Because you're not following the system, you're not following the process. What am I supposed to do with you now?
Okay. And part of the problem is that most companies don't have a process.
Yeah.
So the accounts person can't come and say, Sully, it says here in black and white that on the 31st of the month, you will give me all your slips. Now, I need your slips. You are not following the process. Most companies don't have that. And so the accounts person has no, I say, authority or nothing to back up and say, right, where are my slips?
Yeah. So Why does responsibility feel uncomfortable for most people?
Because then there's consequences.
Ooh. I I mean, shouldn't there be consequences in the workplace?
Well, there's always going to be consequences.
But it may not be like written down, for example, the consequences.
Correct. So I'll use this example in terms of, I'm sure we've spoken about this before, but there's a story of there was a factory that Barry worked for that they used to sell shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there was a theft problem. And everybody knew there was a theft problem. But
That's
nobody was willing to step up and say,
there's a theft problem,
there's a theft problem,
and I know
or
who's running it.
that, or say, I know who's running it. Because why? Because when I leave here tonight, my life is going to be in danger.
Mm.
Because the people that are running the theft ring are going to beat the crap out of me. They're going to beat me up. So I'm not going to be responsible and go to the boss and say, hey, this is what's happening. Why? Because there are consequences.
So that's what people are ultimately afraid of, right? The
They're
other side
afraid
of
of the consequences.
because it could be one of those things where it's like, if I come clean, I might get fired because I've known about this for a year. But if I snitch on them, they're gonna beat me to a pulp.
Mhm.
So there's all my consequences are negative. So I'm just gonna keep quiet.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then what happens is, the factory got shut down
Yes.
because it was losing money. And now 300 people lost their jobs.
Big consequence.
Okay. So now I can't feed my family because
Yeah.
I don't have a job. Because there were 300 other people who lost their jobs. And those 300 people are all going to apply for the next job at the next factory that I'm trying to get. So now there's not just one of us trying to get a job at a factory. There's 300 of us at the factory next door. So it's less likely that I'm going to get a job. And so what happens is that is a consequence we don't see.
Yeah.
But it is way more damaging
Way more.
than being beat up or getting fired, because yes, I can get fired for coming clean, but there's not going to be 300 other people that are looking for a job at the same time as me.
So it's just me
It'll just be me.
and the syndicate.
Correct.
Mm.
And so that's where it is. It's people don't see the all of the effects. They kind of just see, if they live in their little bubble and go, if I say anything, I'm going to get beaten up, and if I don't say anything, then I can just keep going in my little bubble. And so it's challenging for people.
So would you say that this is a people problem or leadership problem?
I think it's both, because from a leadership perspective, you probably haven't created a safe space for people to come in and say, this is what's happening.
Okay.
So that's the leadership problem. The people problem is that the people probably don't have, or they can't see past me and myself.
So as a leader or as a business owner watching this, so how do I create that environment where people can come to me and be like, look, X is going on. So I'm taking accountability for what's happening. I've known about it. How do I create an environment where I'm not the punishment? Yes, you're gonna get punished because you knew about it. This is my take. You're gonna get punished, you knew about it. But how do I create an environment where people feel comfortable doing that?
So it's helping people understand that they're not going to get judged and they're not going to get punished. Yes,
Okay.
you've known about it, but and this is where it is. We often reward bad behavior, which leads to a lack of responsibility. So we reward people for not saying anything.
So that's learned behavior then, right?
It's learned because we are rewarding them for not doing the right thing.
Got you. That makes sense.
Instead of, hey guys, come in, right? I am not going to let anybody know that, but let's set up a I don't know, let's set up cameras, will you,
Mm.
that sort of thing. Or, thank you for giving me feedback. I'm not going to say anything.
So now we
I'm
can
not going to.
so we can set up a system where you're now getting searched when you guys leave.
So yes, let's see what we can do.
Yes.
And also, okay, so you came into my office, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to call 10 other people into the office
Mm.
so that nobody knows that it was you.
So it just looks like,
So it just looks like I knew there was a problem.
and I'm interrogating and seeing.
And I'm going to ask a whole bunch of people, do they know what's happening?
Yeah.
So I'm essentially creating a safe space for people to give feedback. And then I'm going to reward people for the right behaviors, not the wrong behaviors. And a lot of times it's completely unintentional. So I use this example. People often reward their dogs for bad behavior. Okay, and I use this example because this is what happens in life. This is what happens in the workplace. The dog scratches on the door because the door's closed. What do we do?
Open the door.
We open the door. What are we teaching the dog? We're teaching the dog that it's okay to scratch on the door.
Yeah. If I scratch, I'll get what I want.
If I scratch, I'll get what I want.
Yeah.
Or, if I cry, I'll get my ball.
Yes. Mm.
And so it's not I'm not intentionally teaching the dog to scratch the door, but I'm rewarding the dog for bad behavior. So I am actually allowing the dog.
Mm.
I am teaching the dog to scratch the door, even though it's unintentionally. And this is what happens in the workplace is often we're like, I don't have the effort or the energy to wait 5 minutes for you to stop scratching the door. I'm going
Just come in.
Okay, come into my office, do this, do that, whatever. And we land up rewarding people for bad behavior instead of teaching them there's a different way.
So like nothing. So then it becomes sort of like it becomes a culture within that business, right? Because I've now seen Nicole as my boss not punish Michaela for certain behaviors. So
Michaela comes in late all the time, and she's always so nice to Michaela when she comes in late.
It's never an issue.
It's not an issue.
Yeah.
She's always like, hey, what happened to your car? Oh, cool. Oh, I understand you went to gym this morning. Oh, and then, well.
No, I'm sitting there going, damn, if that was.
Nicole treats Michaela nicely because she's late. Well, guess what? I'm going to be late.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get treated nicely.
Yes. And then it spins.
And most of the time, the business owner is not even aware because they kind of go, I don't mind if Michaela comes 10 minutes late. And then it's like, oh, Sully's coming 10 minutes late as well. Oh, it's not a problem. And then Michaela's coming, oh, Sully's also coming later.
I can come later now.
I can come later. Okay, cool. And then suddenly you've got 4 people in the office that are all coming later. And then one day the boss comes in at 8:30 and there's no one in the office.
He's like, what is
and the boss has an absolute cadenza.
Yeah.
Because where is everybody? Why is everybody late? I didn't give you permission to be late. But technically, the boss did give people permission because the boss was quite happy when Michaela was coming in late and then Sully was coming in late and nobody said anything. And so we reward bad behavior.
So if no one in your business is taking responsibility, something or someone is allowing it. And it just keeps happening.
Yep.
So how do you think school, I know this is one of your favorite topics. How do you think school or like upbringing like affects people taking responsibility? Because I feel like that's something that's so misunderstood in work. I think we've been speaking about it a lot in terms of work and people's where they come from and all of that type of stuff. Those things really like people's conditioning plays a massive part in their behaviors, right? So how do those things affect people taking responsibility?
That's such a tough one because every family, every school, everything is different. But essentially, if I use this example of in my family, we are pretty well off and we are very privileged, and we have a domestic worker that comes in and she makes the beds and she cleans the floors, and she comes in 4 times a week. And so
That's blood. Yeah, no.
she comes in and, well, am I making my children make their own beds, or is the
No, someone's gonna do
helper
it.
making their beds?
The helper's making the bed.
Well, and this is where it becomes, not every family's like that. So some families, Michaela, I don't care if we've got a helper coming today or not. Your job is to make your bed. Why should I pay for the helper to make your bed? You sleep in it, you make it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I then teach people in my family to be responsible. Because if you don't make your bed, no one else is making it for you.
Yeah, boy.
Okay. And you'll see all these videos on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and whatever, where they teach you one of the most important things to do every day is make your bed.
Yeah, to start your day.
Just, that
sense of achievement thing.
You've done one thing, make your bed. But so I can still, the helper's not bad.
Yeah.
Or I can go the flip side of that and go, don't make your bed, the helper will do it. And create this expectation that somebody else will do it for you.
Somebody else will pick up your slack.
And somebody else. And so that's where unknowingly I'm teaching my children, if I'm not having them do chores, wash dishes, make beds, that it's okay. Somebody else will do it for you. And so it is important to be aware of, what are you teaching? And are you teaching value and appreciation? Are you teaching exchange?
Good. My bad.
Are you teaching exchange? I'm like, the microphone went out of exchange and made a loud noise. It shouldn't have. But it's important for you to be aware. Are you teaching exchange? And, how do you teach that? And there's a whole bunch of different ways you can do that.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that the children have to make their beds themselves, but it's a great example, because often mothers or somebody will do it for them.
Yeah.
So, for example, we often substitute things. So parents will substitute time for things. So I don't get to spend a lot of time with my kids, so I'm going to buy them donuts on the way home every night, and I'm going to reward them with food.
Yeah.
Now, unintentionally, I'm teaching them that they can eat whatever they want. And I'm teaching them to not value their bodies.
Got you.
Because I'm teaching them that donuts are good. You can have donuts instead of time.
Yeah.
And it's understanding that if you are not clear on what the exchange is, and you are trying to substitute one thing for another, you need to be aware it's going to come short. It's going to fall flat on its face.
Yeah. I mean, I think that example is great, because I think that it just allows a business owner, for example, to understand. Because I think people don't spend enough time trying to understand people. Understand life is crazy, life is busy. You come here to work, you're here to do that. But especially in the space of people not taking responsibility, it's that simple thing. Like, I've had a helper my whole life. Things have always been good for me. Now I come into work. Now somebody's gonna pick it up. Somebody's gonna pick up.
Somebody else is gonna wash the dishes.
Somebody else is gonna wash the dishes. Somebody else will make the calls. Somebody else will do it. And now, if you have like 5 to 10 people in your team that are doing that, you're gonna have a shitty
But
business.
this is where it's so important to have processes. So even, do you have a process for your kitchen?
Yeah.
So guys, this is what happens. Every day before we leave, somebody washes the dishes.
Yes. Very important.
Okay. And whether you used a coffee cup or not, you will be put on that rotation.
Yes.
So Mondays, Sully, Tuesdays, Michaela, Wednesdays, Barry, Thursdays, Nicole. And if I'm not going to be in the office, I need to make sure that somebody else is going to step up and wash the dishes.
Your place, yeah.
And that I am going to make sure that I also wash the dishes, because it's very easy for sales reps and that to go, I'm not in the office on a Thursday, I can't wash the dishes. Well, it doesn't matter. What day are you in the office? or you will make sure that the kitchen is clean before you leave the office.
That's such a simple way to get teams to start taking responsibility for it's very simple, but those things can easily translate to other things in people's lives. And I think because I heard this the other day, and it's something I've been hearing a lot because of my attempt at fitness. Um, is so don't laugh. That's not funny.
It was the way you said it, my attempt at fitness. No, it's not an attempt. You've been running.
Yes,
Own it.
thank you. I was just doing that because I was fishing for that. But I heard, so it was what's her name? Cody Sanchez. She was saying that she started to do things like so she, she noticed her life was a certain way, and she just started to do one simple thing, and that was to go to the gym every day. She made that decision
Mhm.
and saw the impact of that on everything else in her life. And it's something that both you and Barry teach is like start with one small thing to build a discipline, right? And when you do that, you'll see it translate into other areas of your life. And I feel like something like that in a business, in terms of we have a rotation of who does like kitchen day, for example,
Mhm.
it teaches one simple thing of responsibility. So then all of a sudden you see people start picking up things on the floor instead of just leaving it because
Yeah. And it's, hey, guy, and this is where you create culture in organizations because you are clear on this is what we do.
yeah,
So, for
great way to
example,
create culture actually. Nice. Mm.
on a Friday afternoon, we finish at 3 o'clock and then we have drinks in the office.
Yeah.
That is our culture. Nobody leaves here before 4 because that is home time.
Yes.
But from 3 to 4, you can connect with your buddies, you can have a few drinks, or you can have a Coke or whatever it is. But that is our culture and that is the way it works.
Mm,
And people often, I don't think, are clear on what those rules are.
for
So
sure.
they kind of don't say to employees, well, you have to stay until 4 o'clock.
Yep.
4 o'clock is knock off time. They go, well, X, Y, and Z.
Mm.
And then people go, well, do I have to stay?
Yeah.
I pick up my child from school at 4. So I'd rather leave here at 3. I'll save the company money
Yeah.
because I won't have to pay for my drink.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be saving. No, you missed the point.
Yes.
The point is that is the culture of
The
business.
Yeah. And I mean, I think about like for our business, for example, we have the culture of, yeah, I think it's in everybody's contracts, is that we do events on weekends. So everybody must attend our weekend events. You can't really debate it, right? And I think that's the best part, because when you have something that, I guess, ironclad, you're not gonna it creates something very different, and you don't have that whole back and forth of but do I really have to, and can I not miss it? No, you're gonna be there, and I think that's cool. Do you think people are taught to take ownership or to follow instruction, like take responsibility, or just
Okay, people are taught to follow instructions because that's what you have to do at school.
yeah?
You get told to be at school at 8 o'clock or 7:30 or whatever time, and you have to be in this classroom at this time. And people are very good at following instructions. Now, a question is, do people like it? No. Most of the time, people get out of school and all they want to do is do their own thing. So, but then you get some people that's all they want. They want someone to tell them what to do and go A, B, C. And I think it's important to understand we need people like that in our businesses that just follow instructions. They do what they say, or they do what you say.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say do X and they go sure, and then like here's X, we need people like that.
For sure, I agree with
Okay.
that completely.
So those are not people that we should be making responsible for the financial decisions of the business.
Yes.
Because they cannot think past that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll tank it.
And those people we should not be asking to have this much responsibility. But we are asking them to deliver what they promised, which is they said they would fill this cup up with water and they would fill 100 cups up with water. Are they doing that? Yes or no? That's it. They are doing what they are told. They are being responsible. They're filling the cup up. That's it.
Yeah.
Versus somebody that's purchasing the cups and selling the cups and running the money for the cups. That's a whole different level of responsibility.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we put people in positions of responsibility that they can handle. And I think too often we give the guy filling the water cups way more responsibility than we should, or too little responsibility.
Yeah.
And because the guy filling up the cups is now bored, he's going to go, well, nobody noticed that, the label's a bit skew. Oh, well, it doesn't matter if I
was
make.
asked to fill the cups. I wasn't asked to do anything else. Hey,
I wasn't asked to quality check
no,
it
no,
or anything. I was just asked to fill the cups.
Yeah.
And he goes, the label's skew. It doesn't look great. But anyways, and then somebody like a client returns the cups and says the label's skew, and you've suddenly got 500 cups that the label's skew.
Mm,
And the boss goes, why didn't anybody say anything? I was just asked to fill the cup. Not my problem.
mm.
Instead of, hey, if you notice something, tell me.
So would you say then it's that? So it's setting that up, right? So I know I asked you to fill the cups, but if you notice something with the cups, can you let me know?
Correct. You've got to set that up.
So now you're teaching somebody how to take responsibility.
Yes. And then you reward them for that behavior. Say, well done. I'm so glad you told me, instead of what most people go, who did this?
Mm,
Who changed the print?
yeah.
Who didn't check the print? And then they flip all over instead of going, thank you for noticing.
Mm. So would you say that that's a way to start building responsibility in a team? Is like I feel like that it's just such a different set of communications. Fill the cup versus fill the cup, and if you notice anything with the cups,
This is who you should speak to.
yeah. So how do you start building that? Because I mean, if I'm a business owner, I'm watching this and I'm going, because as most people do, they skip stuff. So I want to get to the part where you tell me what to do.
And that's where your processes are so important, because is that put in your process? If you see that the label is skew, please tell, the line manager, or please tell this, or tell this person. If most people are like, the label's skew, what do I do?
I don't want to get in trouble for telling them that the label's skew. They spent a whole bunch of money on this stuff.
So, and that's where it's creating, if you have a process, it's in black and white, and people go, what does it say if the label's skew? It says I must let Sully know. Okay, I better let Sully know. Okay. So I can't find Sully. Okay, I'm going to stop the machine and then I'm going to go find Sully.
Yeah.
And this is where it becomes so challenging, because people will then give that person a hard time for stopping the machine, instead of finding out why. Why did you stop the machine? What happened?
Do you think that like rewarding people is a good? Because I heard you say the word rewarding, like reward people. I'm just trying to understand if you meant like reward as in a financial reward, or do you mean like reward of good job, well done? Does that help build
So
responsibility
you
more?
need to reinforce a positive behavior.
Okay.
So even sometimes just saying, great job, you're rewarding them because it's positive behavior. Or you acknowledge that they did something. Sylvia, I know you turned off the machine. Help me understand why you turned off the machine. Most business owners just fly into, do you not understand that the machine costs money and blah, 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 blah. Instead of going, okay, Sylvia, yes, you turned off the machine. Okay. Next time, if you can't find the person you need to speak to, this is what you need to do. And you update your process, because when Sully leaves, or Sully's off sick, or Sully gets promoted, or wherever Sully goes, the next person needs to be able to know and understand.
They need to be able to duplicate it.
Correct.
To a T. That makes sense. So what do you think? So I think you kind of did touch on it, right? It's like, but what should leaders stop doing when it comes to people taking responsibility or not taking responsibility? And what should they be reinforcing?
Well, I think the most important thing is write up your processes.
Okay.
Because if you do not have a process to write up, you can scream until you're blue in the face. People will not do what you say. because there's nothing to reinforce it.
Got you.
So, one, you need to write up your processes. Two, you need to be adjusting your processes to make sure that they are kept up to date as things change, because technology changes, people change, all of these things. You need to be updating your processes. And it's going to take, if you have no processes, it is going to take you 2 years to get processes in place and update them and revisit them regularly, get people using them, that sort of thing. Because it's very difficult to hold people accountable if there's nothing to do it. Like, why are you phoning that person? No, because I felt like it. What do you mean you felt like it? Well, where in our process does it say you must phone X person? Your job this week was to fill the cups.
Yeah.
It was not to phone Mary and ask Mary, about the labels.
No.
And that's where you've now got job descriptions, you've got processes, you can now hold people accountable. Why? Because you know what they're doing. And then it's so much easier to create a culture, but it's just having that sort of, these are the behaviors we want.
So if I'm a business owner, I'm watching this, I feel like I've gotten your answer, but if I could do one thing this week to start building something around people taking responsibility in my business, what is that thing I should be doing?
Well, I'd say for most business owners, you need to look at yourself.
Ooh, okay.
What areas are you not responsible with? And pick an area.
It's a good starting point, actually.
And look at it and go, okay, so I'm not responsible with money. So, okay, how do I get more responsible? Well, this week, I'm going to make sure that I give all my card slips from the business to the accounts department on time. I'm going to find one thing that I do, say, badly, that I don't do well, and I'm going to get better at it. And then once I do that, I'm going to note, what did I do?
Got you.
And then I can go, oh, this is what I should be doing every week. And then I can go to the accounts lady and say, this is how we want the credit card slips run. Can you help me become accountable? And on Friday at 12 o'clock, if you haven't got the slips, is it okay if you phone me on Friday? Now I'm helping the accounts lady, but I'm also helping myself. And I'm putting in that responsibility.
So I have an answer for that. Now I have an answer for my own question, actually.
Yes.
So I think it's two things. Actually, it's one thing. I think one thing business owners should do or can implement this week is, I'll put a link. Contact us. We might change your business. Actually, not we might. We will change your business. That's my take.
Okay.
So
and yes, I mean, to make light or not make light of what Sully said, we have an unbelievable program called Get Moving, which we help businesses with implement processes and things like that. So if you are willing to have a look, please do reach out to us, because we can help you, to implement some systems and some processes if that is something you're struggling with.
So I did say I have two things, and I made a mistake, and then I said one thing. So the second thing is based off your answer.
Yes.
As a business owner, if you need to look at yourself, look at where you're at, contact Nicole. She can help you find out what you want and then help you get it. You want a better business, she can help you do that. She can help you find out where you're messing up. I just think that's a great deal. That's just the way that I'm looking at it. It's dual.
We have solutions for everything.
We do. Well, I mean, not for world peace yet, but we're working on it.
We need to work a little bit harder on that one.
And I don't, neither one of us have time for that. Nobody in this business has time to sort out world peace.
Correct.
Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I guess this is a pretty in-depth subject, and there's a lot that goes into responsibility. But Barry has a flip chart where he teaches if you live below the line or above the line. And if responsibility is above the line, blame, justifying, denying, and quitting are all below the line.
Yeah.
So when you look, where in your life are you blaming, justifying, denying, or quitting? That's going to allow you to start taking way more responsibility.
Yeah, I think that that flip chart is actually powerful for teams, like just
Yes.
as a thing to look at, because you probably see it a lot in your business, right? As a business owner, people blame, they justify, they deny, they make excuses, and then eventually those people quit. And guess what? You hire new people, and those people do exactly the same thing.
Yep.
So if no one in your business is taking responsibility, maybe the real issue is not your team; it's what is being allowed.
Correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a brand new episode of the Uncovering Greatness podcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening wherever you are in the world.
Mhm.
Before I wrap up, I got something very funny to tell you. We have a new country that has entered into our top viewership, and you will never guess where.
No.
Iraq. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Uncovering Greatness podcast. We'll see you next week.
Bye.